Alright, let's go. Let's go. I want to win this. I want to be done with this tonight. I want to finish. I want to finish. Okay. Cover your eyes, guys. I'm just spamming the... God, I'm so full of weird airs today. Okay, cool. Okay. I was like just waiting to drink. I still don't know how to deal with the fucking mini lasers. Yeah, stay on Titch. Gimme. That's good, that's good. What the absolute shit? Fucking magic pixel. He healed? Did you guys see that? He healed. What the shit? It's like the ticking damage. I don't... What the fuck? It was like the ticking damage hit him and it couldn't kill him, so it put him back. Yep, that's fun and fair. Fun and fair. Okay. Are we going into the sky? We're going into the sky. Okay, so I ran intentionally to the far side of the okay. I ran to the far side of the arena because I knew that the boss would come to this side when it finished that attack. Frustrating. I get really bored of two-phase bosses. You know what? I'm gonna just go two-handed. I'm not bothering to parry. Can you... okay, question. If the summon dies, And you have the mana. Can you summon it a second time? Or is it like one per fight? No? Okay. Really? I'm way back here and that hit me? Think you can summon another? I rolled way too early there. This fucker's AoEs. Oh, my message is appraised and that healed me. Ah, you cunt. Turned around in midair to hit me. Got him. No. Okay, so if those hit you, they do a lot of damage. Okay. I'm curious to how... Because I always die before Titch, so... But I am curious. Do I have any others that are plus 10? Oh yeah, Laten is plus 10. That's right, I maxed her because of plot reasons. Should just go in with the fucking, where's the jellyfish? Floating spirit that illuminates its surroundings. Hey, Noel, did you get the thing with the jellyfish? Were you here for that? Did you do that in the ruins in the snow place? Because that was really cool. Okay, so, spoilers if you haven't. Okay, then you did it. Cool. I thought that was really cute. Interesting. Too soon again. Are you fucking serious? Wasting flasks. trying to stay out of the fire. Oh, hey, my runes. My 0 runes. Okay, got the timing on it that time. No, stop! Fuck you! God, I hate this shit. As soon as you get over to it, it disappears. The worst mechanic. Absolute bullshit. It's like, wait, you were over here? The place I teleported to? You were already here? How about I disappear to the other side of the map? I was like on its back for a second there. It's funny. How do you deal with this thing? Okay, that was honestly just luck. I can't imagine soloing this shit without some kind of help. Come on, one more. Oh, it healed. Fuck you. One hit, okay. Okay. Fucking finally. Elden Remembrance. Noun verbed. 500k. I'm free! Ronnie. Dude, we spent all that time with Ronnie. Of course we go for Ronnie's ending. I can't do most of them. And I don't really feel like doing the...
The battle is over, I see.
I don't really feel like doing Hyetas. Made the waifu choice? Exactly. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a woman. So who the fuck is it? Wife. Fair. Could have done living and death ending. Eh. I don't care.
I do solemnly swear to every living being and every living soul. Now cometh the age of the stars. 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon. Here beginneth the chill night that encompasses all, reaching the great beyond. I
feel like I made the right choice.
Into fear, doubt and loneliness
Wait.
as the path stretcheth into darkness.
Part of me wants to ask if I just made everything worse, but this is a Souls game. Of course I did. No ending is good. All endings are bad.
Well then, shall we?
Can we bring Blaze back? Not worse, just different.
My fair consort eternal.
We win? Age of the Stars. Alright. World created by Hidetaka Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin. Director. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all these. We're going to skip. Skip! No, I would not like to just yet. You can do it from the thing. Okay. GG's, everyone. I just want that to be a nice round 30. Alright. So, as is tradition, we're going to talk about this. Shouldn't have dumped me, Melina. Yeah, or set yourself on fire. GG is Grom Grom. So, as is tradition, we'll break it down. Because normally I like to talk Cash in the Soul. I'll do it later. Fuck it, I'll do it now. The Remembrance. Yeet! Yeet! So, I always like to talk about, like, do a retrospective on what my feelings were about the game, and we've talked about it a lot in the past, like, hour with this particular game compared to the other ones. And, okay. So, Marika's Hammer, or the Sacred Relic Sword. Sword wrought from the remains of a god who should have lived a life eternal. Thoughts on what the weapon portends are many and varied. Some consider it the mark of a great sin or a sign of great devastation. Some think of it as the end of an age, whilst others the beginning. A unique skill, Wave of Gold. Imbue the sword with bygone golden glory. Then fire it at foes. A wide golden wave fans out forwards, sweeping through all enemies caught on its path. Marika's Hammer. Stone Hammer. Marika. Stone hammer made in the lands of Newman, outside the lands between. The tool with which Queen Marika shattered the Elden Ring, and Radagon attempted to repair it. The hammer partially broke upon shattering the ring, becoming splintered with rune fragments. Unique skill, Goldbreaker. Oh, okay. So the blonde woman was Marika, and we fought Radagon, who took over her body. Unique skill, Goldbreaker. Leap up high and, while suspended in midair, imbue the rune shard with light before smashing it down hard onto the ground. The heroic Radagon's signature attack. Cool. Oh, right. Hold on. Alright, it doesn't look like we got any new armor out of that. Okay. Okay, so. Retrospective. We've talked about it a lot. First 75% of this game was amazing. I think exploring, finding things, the idea that you can explore, and if you run up against a boss that's too hard, like Tree Sentinel is a perfect example of the game saying, this shit's too hard for you. Maybe come back later. And you follow the gold markers on the map, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to this castle, and Margit just stomps your face off, and you're like, it's the game saying, maybe go level up a little bit. And I think that that's wonderful. I think that's really good. I feel like out of all the things that they did, that's the best. Making it a giant fuck off world The sword is what people use to farm billions of runes. I don't care. I'm not going to open this again. Until there's DLC, I doubt I'm going to open this again. When there's DLC, I might. Which is why I didn't New Game Plus. But, like, the world is cool. The enemy design is, it's, you know, pretty okay. Mounted combat is frustrating, but there's not really a better way to do it. It's just a thing. I feel like... I just feel like the end game was really bad. Most fun Junior has friends in this game is PvP. I can see that. I just feel like the end game is really bad. The difficulty scales so much that it feels like it assumes you have someone there with you, whether it be a summon or a friend or what, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you don't, you're fucked. Every boss is hyper aggressive and they have attacks that have massive hitboxes. Like Melina, whatever the fuck her name is, this fucking waterfowl dance where her whole attack patterns where she can dash across the room and hit you with a fucking 360 orb of death and there's almost no way to get around it. You have to, like, time your shit perfectly is really frustrating. Radagon with his whole, hey, I'm gonna just do a big AoE everywhere. Every boss having massive AoEs gets really frustrating. And it's cool when bosses have well-telegraphed attacks that you can dodge and they're consistent. The Faramazula Landale is forever changed. Hope you didn't miss anything, including that legendary weapon you need for their achievement. Yeah, that's really dumb. I feel like that was done way too early. And I feel like if they had said, if she had said, when we do this, there is no going back, that would have been enough for me to say, wait a minute, this might be a mistake. I might need to do this later. But there is no catch that says, by the way, things about to go bad. But we've compared it to the other Souls games, and they all felt really good. Dark Souls 1 felt like if you learned how to play the game and you did execution, you could wipe the fucking floor with the boss, which feels rewarding. I learned how to do this thing really well, and now I'm applying that knowledge to succeed. Cause, effect. Good shit. Dark Souls 2, whatever, we don't talk about that. That's the black sheep of the family. Dark Souls 3, both final fights, both Slave Knight Gale, which is a truly amazing and epic fight, when you learn the patterns and you know which way to dodge, and it's like, okay, he's going to do this specific attack. If I roll backwards, I get hit. But if I roll towards him, I'm behind him and I get a free hit. Learning that fight was really good. Same with Soul of Cinder. Soul of Cinder did have some spots in it that were frustrating, where, like, it would go into caster mode and cast the stars over its head, which would attack you, and then switch over to rogue mode and, like, fuck your shit up, or switch over to Lancer and charge you. And so it would charge and stagger you back, and then all of those little lights over its head would all hit you. But that didn't happen super often. So when it did happen, you're like, this is a bad attempt. Next one will be better. Because the next one would be better, because maybe that wouldn't happen, or maybe they would get a different combo and it would be really easy to cheese. And once you learned the fight, it was really good. With a lot of these fights, it was just panic. Just constant, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I just gotta get out of it because this boss is gonna hit me, and it's gonna hit hard. And it's gonna fucking AoE me. And, like, what's his name? Horolo? That was pretty okay. That was cool. Because, like, his attacks were reminiscent of... The game did eat way too many fucking inputs. There were a lot of times that I'm like, why am I not drinking? I hit the button. But, like, his attacks were cool because they were kind of telegraphed. At high health, Soul Cinder never straight up one-shot. Also true. Also true. His attacks could be brutal, but it was never a, you made one mistake, you're dead now. We want you to panic, we need you to be very precise, we're expecting you to buffer your actions, except when they get eaten. Apparently the inputs getting eaten is a problem that I'm only seeing, because, like, I was talking to 6'4", and he said he didn't have any problems, but he was playing with mouse and keyboard. And when he told me that, I was like, maybe it is the controller. I'll go get a new one. And I think the new one did help. There were less there were less input like just lost compared to yesterday. But I definitely feel like this game, it bit off more than it could chew. Because, like, there's another streamer you followed had him. Okay. Your controller. Okay, cool. So it isn't just me. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't feel crazy. The game just went on too long. It was really good for the first 75%, and then it was like, at first it was, oh my god, this map is huge, and then you like get a new chunk and you're like, oh my god, this map is huge, and then you get teleported to the bridge and you're like, holy shit, this map is awesome, and then you go to Siofria and you're like, oh, that's cool, there's like an underground zone, and then there's another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and then there's more zones, and more areas, and more shit, and it's like, I want my life back. I want my life back. And when bosses, like, okay, so that, the streamer that I talked about earlier, who I was watching, and it was his first Souls game, and he was like, he wanted to know where there were some spells that he could get. And so I told him, and finding the Volcano Manor is either a questline or finding a hard-to-see ladder, yeah. And not killing Patches because he's a piece of shit. He asked where to get sorceries, and I told him where Selen was. So he goes down there, and there's a mad pumpkin head. And he's like, I don't think I can do this. This boss isn't taking any damage. And I told him, I'm like, would you like a hint? And he's like, yeah, I'm a super casual player. I'll take a hint. What do you want? What do you have for me? And so I told him, his helmet is a shield. Try and hit him from behind. And I think he died one time after that because he had trouble getting behind the boss, because obviously bosses spin at you. But then after that, as soon as he was getting it behind and he was attacking when the boss wasn't, like, had its head lowered with the helmet blocking, he did awesome. And he knew what the technique was. He knew that if you hit it in the front, you do less damage. Try and hit it in the back. He executed properly. He killed the boss. It was awesome. The handful of people there, there were like 5 of us there. All of us were like, awesome, great job, you fucking killed him. As soon as he knew how to perform the boss the quote-unquote correct way, he executed it properly and he killed the boss, and it was great. And I feel like that's rewarding, is when you learn, or in his case are told, because I noticed he wasn't picking up that some of his attacks were doing 27 damage and some were doing 114. He didn't notice that because he was panicking. But like, once he knew, he executed the information, or he executed properly, and that's rewarding. Apply knowledge, execute knowledge. Success. Works really well. But when you get back to the end game and everything is just fuck you, every single enemy being a third of your life per hit, hyper aggressive and camera fuckery, yeah. If bosses are a puzzle, I think that's cool. I think that's fun. You learn how to handle them, because that's what get good always means. People, when someone fails at a Dark Souls game and everyone's like, just get good, a lot of people just take that as you're just bad at the game, suck. But when you really boil it down to, it means figure out what you're doing wrong, learn the boss's attack patterns, learn how to exploit them, apply that knowledge, execute. That's what getting good does. And it goes all the way back to the first one. Like fighting fucking Havel at the beginning. Or even doing things like the Asylum Demon. That's a very generous definition. I'm being nice. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be accessible. I'm giving things the most benefit of the doubt possible. But like, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, is you learn how to kill a boss by dying a whole bunch, and then once you know what its patterns are, you can kill them. You now know why so many people use exploits after Margot. I mean, it's just so frustrating. The bosses are all hyper aggressive, there's a lot of camera fuckery, and a lot of like the cool stuff in the beginning, like when I fought the dragons at the very beginning, and Royal brought this up earlier. I hate fighting dragons because it's, oh hey, they're in the sky, I can't hit them, I'll just wait for them to come down. Margot was a good boss, yeah. I don't know if I'd say he's the last good boss, but I don't know. What was I saying? Right, dragons. I don't fight dragons in all the older games unless I have to, because a lot of it is you spend 5 minutes running over to them. You smack... Renala is before Margot. You run over them for 5 minutes, you smack them, they fly into the air, they fly to the other side of the room, hitting you as you go there. Oh, in terms of require... Okay, fair. Like, they fly away, they're shooting a breath attack that you have to dodge, and then they land a bazillion miles away, and you have to run over to them, and if you're lucky, you get one hit in, and then they fly away again. And it's this constant ping-ponging back and forth, and it's not fun. And so Elden Ring giving you a horse was like, I'll just run over on my horse, and I'm fast enough to keep up with them. And that was really cool. And then you get to, like, the last boss, and it's every worst dragon fight ever. And it wasn't even like... Okay, so... Gwyn made sense as a final boss because he's built up, you know about him. He's talked about in the game. Nishandra is kind of... It's one of those things that, like, once... I feel like Nisandra is one of those things where when you know what the twist is, you can look back and see all the stuff at the beginning. Cool concept is a poor execution, yeah. Nishandra's mentioned a bunch. Yeah, and like I said, it's like... Have you guys ever seen the movie Get Out? I'm gonna spoil this movie, so if you don't want this movie spoiled for you, I recommend you not listen for a minute. I'll turn the model back... I'll turn it off and back on afterwards. When I'm done talking about this. So if you want to see it, it's a good movie. I recommend it. If you want to. So the movie Get Out is a horror movie. It's kind of a slasher home invasion flick. And I'm sorry, the music is very loud. I'll turn it off. It's revealed at the end of the movie that two of the characters in it's a family getting invaded, their house, and two of the brothers in it are co-conspirators who are trying to get their parents killed for their inheritance. All right, let's put this on, and I will switch over to the chatting screen. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the twist is that at the end of the movie, you find out that the brothers are a part of it. You don't know that until halfway through the game. Or until the end of the movie, when one of the brothers calls the other. I'm not thinking of a different movie. I'm thinking of... You're right. I'm thinking of You're Next. You're Next, not Get Out. You're Next. Fuck. I'm very sorry. You're Next. They both have that same thing, because it was home invasion. That's what I was thinking of. Anyway, yeah, Get Out is the racism one. It was made by... Jordan Peele or Keegan Mike and Key? I forget which one. It's really good. Shut up. Fuck off. Anyway, listen. You're Next. It's a good movie. Home invasion. Shit. And you find out that the brothers are a part of it. They're co-conspirators. And when you look back... Jordan Peele, thank you. When you look back at the beginning of the movie with some of the things that those two characters are saying, they're very obviously suggesting ways for the people to be killed. The one of them is like, oh man, none of our cell phones work. You know, I hear you can, like, totally buy cell phone jammers on, like, eBay and shit. Those are just things you can buy. And at the end of the movie, that very character leaves the house after half the cast is dead and goes to the trunk of his car, and guess what? He's got a cell phone jammer there. And there was the one brother who was like, you're gonna have to make a run for it. Just run and find somebody. It'll be okay. And then as soon as the girl runs out of the house, she dies. And so when you look back, you realize, oh, all of these little things that they were doing because they were in on it. It wasn't some innocent comment. Nishandra felt like that. I'm going to turn the model off now and turn it back on. Anyway, Soul of Cinder was definitely a surprise, but it made sense with the story that Dark Souls 3 was trying to tell. With the whole, it's all of the previous versions coming back because the current version has abdicated responsibility, and so we need the previous attempts to go to the final one and see, oh, it's all of the previous incarnations who kindled the flame, you go, this makes thematic sense. Radagon kind of made sense, but it was more like a who the fuck is this guy moment, because even though he's mentioned, there's no implication that it was him that was a part of it. Same with Marika. It's just like they're these mythological creatures that I figured they'd come up eventually, and I thought they might be DLC stuff. I didn't expect it to be the final boss. And then you get this Elden Beast thing, and that shows up out of fucking nowhere. What the fuck was that? What? There's this weird interdimensional realm of trees that this crazy fucking multi-finned whale thing with a long neck is hanging out in? What? I don't get it. Yeah, Godfrey came off as I was the first Elden Lord, and I thought that was the final boss. I was like, all right, cool, we're done. This is it. We kill him, we go inside, and that's the cutscene. We choose what happens to the tree. I defeat the first Elden Lord and take over. Yeah, because that's like how the previous versions were. Gwyn was the first one to kindle the flame. Makes thematic sense. Yeah, again, God is a sore loser. Definitely. I don't know. It's weird and wonky and... And I think that a lot of the cool ideas did have poor execution. Where... I don't know. The first 3 quarters of the game were awesome, and if I could just replay them forever, I'd be happy. But it was like they needed another boss to be big, and it's just there, and it's a lousy boss. Yeah, exactly. There is nothing about the Elden Beast at all. The most that they mention... Excuse me. The most that they mention, and I am extrapolating a lot of information here. I am making a huge leap in logic. I'm making a very big leap in logic here. One of the souls that you can pick up, so the golden runes, the hero runes, is the Newman rune. And it mentions the Newmans a couple of times. That is the only place where I saw it mentioned, because the sword that you can get from that remembrance of the Elden Beast is mentioning the land of Newman, which is outside of the lands between. To go from, oh hey, there's these Newmans, I don't know what the fuck those are, to, oh hey, there's this giant boss thing that's a fucking whale with fins and a big long neck. Where's the correlation there? Why is my head tilted off to the side like that? Do I do that? Do I have my head tilted all the time? So yeah. It's out of left field and doesn't make any sense. IMHO. Even if it was Radagon as the final boss and that was just the end of it, it was like, okay, so he shattered the ring. I get it. I understand why he's the final boss. Because he shattered the ring. Makes sense. But then the weird Elden Beast taking all of the worst parts of game design. Bosses too far away. Guess Michaela will be a DLC fight. I hope so. That'd be cool. Well, no. Michaela was the brother who was, like, dead in the egg in the Moog fight. Right? He wasn't actually dead in Moog's cocoon. I mean, maybe. Feel like they have planned DLC. I hope so. But no, like, the Elden Beast is just garbage. It's a boss that doesn't fit on the screen. It's too big. It has attacks that go off the screen so you can't see them. If you get close to it, you can't see what it's doing. It has massive AoEs. It has a basic teleport, so you spend a lot of time running off to it. It's just bad. It's not a good boss fight. Gwyn, amazing boss fight. Nishandra, whatever. Dark Souls, Soul of Cinder, good shit. Good shit. Occasional bad RNG, good shit. Slave Knight Gale, très magnifique. Sword Saint Ishin, perfection. you learned that fight and you were able to execute it, and once you did and applied all of the knowledge that you'd gained, that felt good. Especially the finale where he's like, good job, Sekiro, end it, and you have to chop his head off. That shit was awesome. This game, fuck it. And like, part of me would love to do some of the other endings, but I'm locked out of several of them. Like, I can't get the good ending, in air quotes. I looked them up, I'm not gonna lie. I can't get the good ending where you go and fight, or you use the piece that Goldmask gives you to repair the ring and make it a good place with no rot. Like, because he's just dead because I accidentally skipped a step somewhere. I skipped a step in the quest line and I'm fucked because of it. So now I can't go get the good ending. You know what, though? We finished. We beat the game. It took us 143 and a half hours. 143 and a half hours. Now, I feel like I got my money's worth. I 100% feel like I got my money's worth out of it. Like, that's, you know, like 40 cents, 45 cents per hour of fun had. So it was worth it. And, you know, it's content for YouTube for a long time. And we went and did pretty much everything. Wait, there's 2 hidden achievements left? Hold on, let's see what the other achievements are. Okay, so Elden Lord we didn't get because we didn't do that ending. We didn't find all the sorceries and incantations, all the talismans, all the weapons. And we didn't get Lord of Frenzied Flame because, And we didn't get Elden Ring, which is the obtain all achievements. That's all we're missing. Interesting point of order. More people did the Age of Stars ending than did the Elden Lord ending. So I'm guessing a lot of people liked the blue doll waifu. But I don't know. I still think the game is amazing, and I feel like it's a reasonable growth from Dark Souls 3 and Sekiro. I just feel like their execution on a lot of things was just make it hit more and have more health. It doesn't hurt that for the first 2 weeks the wiki had it listed as the good ending. I don't think it's a bad ending. It's just a nebulous ending. To walk forward into the night is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a change. It's the death is not the end, it is merely a transition. What did I do there? The good ending. But yeah. Do you like that? Nebulous ending as in nebula. Oh, I didn't mean that as a pun. I did not mean that as a pun, I promise. It was... Look, Royal, if I wanted to make a pun out of that, I'd say it might not be the bad ending. It sure sent me over the moon. But yeah, I just feel like the game... The spike in difficulty was a bit much. Trying too hard? I didn't say it was good. I don't like puns. You know I don't like puns. So the only puns I'm going to make are shitty ones. Dad pun? Yeah. That's fair. I don't care. I'm glad that we finished, because it means that we can go back to our regularly scheduled stuff. Which is nice. Pop my neck a little bit. Which is nice. I'm excited to go back to the regularly scheduled things. I really love this model. You guys don't know how much I'm just staring at it. But let's wrap up, because I'm still recording, and it's been 43 minutes, and we finished about a half an hour ago. We've just been discussing. Broadcasted as the good ending meant players are drawn, looking things up or drawn to it. Maybe. So the thing is like, Elden Lord itself has multiple versions, depending on what things you do. So that one is kind of, yeah. Bring it back to our regularly scheduled chaos. But no, I'm sorry, I'm staring at this model. I love watching it move. It's so wonderful. Anyway, I think that it is the logical progression from previous Souls-likes. I feel like the game has a lot of redeeming qualities. I feel like the things that it did poorly can be fixed. I feel like some of the things that are poor are intentional. Like horse combat being a little bit wonky, I kind of understand. The horse not turning on a dime and you having like a limited moveset makes sense. It doesn't necessarily mean it's fun, but I get it. I feel like them going, hey, let's just make everything have way too much health and be way too big and, you know, fuck with your camera a lot and teleport away from you is a design decision. Is it a good one? No. Did I have fun for the majority of it? Yes. Bringing a lot of builds. Most of the players being told do this build and then the build being nullified. Well, it's the same thing as me saying I'm going to spend a lot of time making bleed be what works for me and put all of my money into a bleed weapon and then bleed does fuck all. Because bleed was really good for a long time. And it was, I wouldn't say it was carrying me, but it was doing work. It was right up there. I still think the game is good. Overall. I just think that making all the major bosses be, hey, I'm super big, fuck your camera, I'm gonna hit you and it's gonna kill you in one hit. No, a fail. I don't know if I'd say 10 out of 10. I'd probably say like 9.5. It has flaws. It has flaws that you won't get to until you get to endgame. And when you get to endgame, those flaws become all-encompassing. However, getting to that, hated Fire Giant. Yeah, fuck the Fire Giant. Fuck that shit. I liked that it had a gimmick. I thought that was cool. I thought, like, breaking its leg to force a phase change was cool. But the boss being massive and, like, you couldn't see what was happening most of the time, I got hit with so many things because I couldn't see them off screen. And that sucked. And that was kind of indicative of a lot of the major story bosses. I also feel like Melina should have had a thing that said, oh, hey, when we burn this tree down, there ain't no going back. The world will change, and we can't undo it. I feel like that would have been nice to know beforehand, but what are you going to do? But yeah, if I spent 143 hours in that game, I enjoyed over 100 of them, with only minimal frustration for the changes after you clear Farah Missoula. Noted. Sorry, I'm scratching an itch on my... Okay, sorry, it was under my headphones. I don't know. I just feel like... that doesn't make any sense. You kill Malekith and that's what makes it Ash? Like, why would that be the truth? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Overall, good game. Probably won't play it again, but only because it's such a big time investment. Is it game of the year? Hell yeah. Am I excited for DLC? Yes, that's why I didn't do a new game plus. Will I play the DLC when it comes out? Fuck yeah. Will I play this? Will I pump in another 120 hours to beat the game a second time? Nah. But I'm glad I beat it. I am still a Souls player. And, you know, that's cool. And we're going to end the video there. Still a good game. Not perfect. Not perfect. But I'm still glad I played it. I'm still glad I beat it. And I probably wouldn't undo those 143 plus hours if given the option. I'd do it all again. Thanks for watching.